Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Social Security Posts, where we break down complicated Social Security and retirement topics in simple, practical language just for you. Today, we're diving into a question that so many of you have been sending my way. Is President Trump's big, beautiful bill truly giving seniors extra income, or is there a hidden catch behind all the headlines? If you've seen rumors on social media or news clips suggesting seniors are getting big cash payments from this legislation, you are not alone. I know how confusing all of this can be, especially when it feels like these changes happen every week and are wrapped in complicated congressional language. So let's go through this piece by piece so you can know exactly what is true and what is simply talk. Before we get into the details, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to Social Security Post if you want to keep seeing honest, senior-focused updates without the fluff. Also, if you have any questions about today's video, please drop them in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'm here to help you get the facts straight. There's a lot of misleading information floating around out there, and seniors deserve clarity. So settle in, and let's separate the facts from the rumors around Trump's big, beautiful bill and what, if anything, it could actually mean for your wallet in retirement. The so-called big, beautiful bill is really a nickname for a huge budget reconciliation measure that was pushed forward under Trump's larger economic agenda. Sometimes you'll hear people call it a stimulus package, a reconciliation bill, or simply a giant budget bill. The reason it has so many names is because it tries to do many different things at once, from tax adjustments to spending authorizations to healthcare rules. That's why people get confused about whether it directly helps Social Security, Medicare, other senior programs. Reconciliation bills are special in Congress because they allow certain budget measures to pass with fewer votes, skipping the usual 60-vote hurdle in the Senate. But they also come with strict limits on what can be included. One of those strict limits is that these reconciliation bills cannot legally change Social Security benefits. The Senate has a referee called the parliamentarian who reviews these bills and removes anything that goes beyond the budget rules. So if lawmakers tried to slip in a Social Security benefit increase, the parliamentarian would simply throw it out. That's important to understand because it explains why you might hear politicians talk about wanting to raise Social Security but then see nothing change. The rules do not allow it through this kind of bill. We'll look more closely at what is in the bill for seniors in the next section, but I wanted to lay the foundation here so you know why there's so much debate and confusion every time you see the term big, beautiful bill in the news. I know many of you have been writing in with the same concern, which is really important. Are seniors actually getting extra money from this bill? It makes sense that you'd be curious because times are tough and costs are rising for older Americans. Gas prices, groceries, medical bills, and even rent have gotten harder to manage. So naturally, when there is any talk of a new bill in Congress, seniors want to know, will I see a real increase in my bank account? The answer to that is a bit more complicated than a simple yes or no, but let's work through it carefully. From what I've reviewed, there is no direct payment or extra income built into this bill specifically for seniors, even though a lot of articles and influencers have hinted at it. Instead, what the bill includes is a tax deduction, which is very different from a direct cash benefit. It's understandable to mix up the two because both can affect how much money you have left at the end of the day, but they work very differently. Deduction does not mean dollars added to your Social Security checks. It means you may pay less in taxes if you qualify. That is where the confusion comes from. It's also why so many seniors have written me worried about missing out on a so-called stimulus, but there is no new stimulus check. It's a tax rule change, and that is all. And let's talk about the $6,000 deduction that has been making waves. This is technically an addition to the existing standard deduction. So for seniors who file taxes, they can claim $6,000 more above what they normally would. In plain language, that means you get to reduce the amount of your income the IRS counts for taxes. Let's be very clear, this is not the same as receiving $6,000 in the mail. There is no new check. There is no new money coming from the Social Security Administration because of this bill. It simply changes how much income you pay tax on. So you may owe the IRS less money at tax time if you qualify. It might feel like extra money because you keep more of what you earned, but it is not a direct benefit. The reason that matters is because some seniors who don't pay taxes at all won't see any change from this. If you have a very low income and your taxes are already zero, an extra deduction does nothing for you. But for seniors with moderate or higher taxable incomes, lowering their tax bill can help them keep a little more in their bank account. That is the extent of what the bill actually does for seniors. I know the headlines make it sound like a big windfall, but truly, it's a tax change, nothing more. It's critical to be honest about who actually gains from this $6,000 deduction. Seniors who still file a federal tax return, especially those with some type of retirement income above the standard deduction, are the ones who might see a positive effect. For those folks, reducing their taxable income could mean owing less to the IRS, which might free up a few $100s or even more, depending on their tax bracket. So in that case, the deduction can help them feel a bit more financially secure, but it's important to manage expectations. If you do not file a tax return because your total income is too low, then this bill means nothing for you. There is no rebate, no refund, no check, just a deduction. It's hard to see any benefit if you were not paying taxes in the first place. That's why it is so crucial to check your own tax situation before assuming you'll see extra money. Sadly, many seniors have been misled by social media videos and posts saying every senior will get $6,000 more. That is absolutely not correct. It is only a tax break for those who qualify, not a guaranteed payment to every senior. A lot of people have wondered why, if Congress is spending so much money in these giant bills, they don't just raise Social Security while they're at it. The short answer is that they can't. The Senate has strict rules for reconciliation bills that block lawmakers from changing Social Security benefits through these packages. This rule is enforced by the Senate parliamentarian, who reviews every piece of legislation and removes anything unrelated to budget or taxes. So even if politicians wanted to sneak in a Social Security benefit boost, it would legally be tossed out. That's why you haven't seen any increases added to Social Security as part of this bill. I know that is disappointing because seniors genuinely need help keeping up with inflation. Many of you have told me you would welcome a larger COLA or a one-time bonus. But for now, those ideas are legally blocked inside a reconciliation bill. If Congress wants to reform or expand Social Security, they have to pass a separate full law that goes through the normal process. That takes more time, more debate, and usually more bipartisan support. So please don't believe rumors that Social Security is getting a bonus through this bill. That is not how it works, and the parliamentarian would remove it even if it were added. And what you should take away from all this is that there is no direct extra cash for seniors in Trump's big, beautiful bill. The only provision aimed at older Americans is that $6,000 tax deduction, which will only help some. That is not a payment. It does not come in the form of a monthly increase. It will not change your Social Security checks. It is simply a tax benefit for those who file. If you do not file taxes, you will see no difference at all. I believe it's important to say this clearly because many seniors are understandably looking for relief and they deserve truthful answers. Going forward, I strongly recommend you keep following Social Security posts because if they are real confirmed benefit increases or stimulus programs, I will break them down for you. There's no shame in asking these questions. If you are ever unsure, you can drop a question in the comments below and I will help guide you through the details. Please remember, no matter what you see on social media, double check whether it is coming from a reliable source. We are committed to getting you straight answers here so you don't have to worry about being misled. Thanks so much for sticking with me today here on Social Security Post. I truly appreciate every one of you taking the time to learn about these complex bills and how they actually affect your retirement. Please do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future updates that are made with seniors in mind, not politicians. If you have a question about today's video, I'd love to see it down in the comments below. I always do my best to answer. Remember, there are nearly 100 videos here for you to explore covering Social Security, Medicare, and retirement news that impacts your daily life. Keep checking back as I continue to follow what happens with this bill and other proposals in Congress. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and most importantly, take good care of yourself and your family. See you soon on Social Security Post.